a CFO today, they say that a CFO is so strategic that they also have to have a view on technology. Do you take a view on technology yourself, or do you rely on your IT, CIO, and CTO? What is your process of managing with IT?
No, absolutely. Whether you're a CFO or whether you're any other person in the organization, you have to be a technology evangelist. Otherwise, you're out of a job in the next decade or the next 15 years. You're not going to be relevant to whichever organization you're operating in, right? So how do you really become a technology evangelist? So obviously, I think the word you mentioned, curious, understand what's kind of going on. I think the role of the leadership, especially for a CFO, is translating that to the board, translating that to internal stakeholders. My CIO might come back and say, look, I want to take it to cloud, do something, drive these 5 things. But how do you take that and narrate that story in a very simplistic form to your board and to the stakeholders to basically say, look, if I do this is what I will actually end up kind of achieving. Now, I'll give you an example on that. We are driving the biggest sales transformation globally for us, on the FMCG side of the business. It's been a very intense exercise. We've been dealing with it, speaking to consultants, understanding and all that. Now, I have the time I'm spending to understand the intensity, what will we do in week 1? What will we do in week 2? What will we do in week 3? Trying to get that narrative very clear, because there are 2 things from a technology standpoint, and most people, I think people get it, but not maybe strongly enough. One is, don't do technology for the sake of technology. That's number 1. You should not, just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to run after it. So set context for yourself. Second is, do not underestimate the change management. I could tell you that, download this app and start, doing this or doing that. But if you're not a person who's grown up in that ecosystem of environment, that's why, how does a 20-year-old do things much faster, right? Because they're just wired on it. They just grown up with that. So don't underestimate the change management. You can have the best technology, but if the change management is not driven with the DNA of the organization, it's going to be a failure. Because you would have spent on the technology and you would continue to do the old ways. And so basically nothing would have moved, right? I think so technology, you have to continue to make it relevant for your organization as you move forward. You're not the expert in this room. There's no way you're going to be the expert in this room. In your board or anybody else, then you're not going to be the expert. So have the humility to go and tell boss, please tell me what exactly this means. How do I do this? What should I do? That's the only way you're going to be able to kind of learn. Like in the earlier version, I was saying that you have to work with great managers to, or good mentors, but work with great youngsters to be able to tell you what is making sense. They will tell you, and they already know because it's their DNA to know.